and welcome to healthyhouseplants.com, where we teach you all about gardening in the great indoors. If you'd like to support our show, please use our Amazon affiliate link below. Today I'm going to talk to you about signs of too much light for your houseplants. I know a lot of indoor gardeners are always trying to get enough light for their houseplants, but it can actually, sometimes you can get too much light for houseplants, especially certain plants that have more delicate foliage. This generally occurs from western and southern windows, especially southern windows during certain times of the year where the plants are just getting too much bright light. So signs of too much light: scorched leaves that are browned or bleached on the window side, so the side that's getting the most light. That's a classic indicator. I do have a video on what to do if you've sunburned your plants. I'll put a link for that below, as well as any other videos I mentioned in this video. So that's like I said, classic sign. Another sign: overall yellowing and thickening of new growth. So the plant will sort of kind of look weird and over it, like mentioned, it's a yellowing. It's kind of a different change in the leaf. Like, so say the African violet, the leaves would start to yellow up and look kind of strange. That's another sign of too much light. And African violets, you can give them too much light. They grow best in northern windows, unobstructed northern windows. They also do well under full spectrum lighting. So this is not a plant you would want to put in front of a hot window. And it would show you that those yellowing, these overall yellowings, and even burning, browning out, bleaching, the foliage looks bleached, etc., that sort of thing. And the growth will become thicker because the plant is trying to compensate for the excess light that is not naturally good for the plant. Another thing that will happen with signs of too much light is excessively compact and stunted growth. As I mentioned, you would think you're always trying to get more light, right? So the more light, the better, but actually too much light will actually will work in reverse and make your plants, they kind of hunker down because they're just getting too much light. They're not in their correct climate for them, and they will be compact and the growth will be stunted. So take a look at that. If you have plants that are doing that, you've checked everything else, and but you do have it in front of a really bright window, that may be the problem. Foliage curled downward, so it's going to curl downward. The leaves are going to curl downward. They're doing that to protect the foliage, to protect the surface of the foliage. The plant will do that as well. Wilting when adequate moisture is present in the soil. So it's just too hot for the plant. It's trying to cycle the water that it has, and it wilts as a result because it just can't cycle the water quickly enough. So that's another indicator. Now that can also be an indicator of root rot. So you have to kind of figure out which is which. I do have a whole playlist on root rot and how to figure out if your plant has it, and then what to do with it in order to save your plant. Okay, and then also this is similar, lighter than normal leaves. And as I mentioned, like this, if you first get a plant, it's got a certain color leaf to it. It looks healthy. It's flowering. If it does flower, etc. This plant too. And then a little later, the leaves just start to look lighter. They don't look normal anymore. That can also be a sign of too much light. Now, too much light. That is a sign of too much light. However, the yellowing leaves, lighter than normal leaves, can also be a sign of an inadequate fertilizing, inadequate nutrients in the soil, in particular nitrogen. So you want to look at your fertilizing, look at both the fertilizing and the sunlight, the access to sunlight, and see which problem it could be. Okay, so you can rectify overlighting conditions by moving plants away from the windows or installing adjustable shades, curtains, or blinds. So if you've had a plant, say, in a windowsill, you want to move it back 2 or 3 feet and see how it does, or adjust the blinds and the windows. Also keep in mind that at certain times of the year, some windows are going to be hotter than others. That happens with southern facing windows because of the trajectory of the sun. It will also happen if outside of your window you have deciduous trees. So keep that in mind. In the summer, you may be getting a lot of little filtered light coming through that window. But in the winter months, if the tree is deciduous, it's going to lose those leaves and you're going to get a lot brighter sunlight. So that is another consideration. So looking at your lighting, seeing if it's too much, doing what you can to move plants around, and also look at what plants need. You very well may have some plants that need a higher light, so you can switch locations of your plants. Thank you for stopping by today. Please leave any comments about any indoor gardening tutorials you'd like to see. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And please check the bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos are released.